I've tasted all three of these before, but I've never tasted them back to back. And I literally just went and got these from the garden, brought them straight back in here and washed them, stuck them on the plate. And I put them in alphabetical order so I wouldn't get them mixed up. There's Arkansas Traveler, Boxcar Willie, and Ava Purple Ball. And this is kind of about the size they grow. Most of them are probably around this size. They can get bigger and sometimes smaller. They will get a little bigger than this largest one, but these are just the ones that were ripe, so that's the ones I got. What I'm going to do at first is slice them in half so we can see what the inside looks like. They've all got kind of ugly tops. This one's really ugly. And I dropped, I think it was, yeah, dropped the Boxcar Willie. It's got a couple of holes in it from hitting the wood chips. And they look pretty meaty. I'd say the meatiest one is probably the Ava Purple Ball, followed by the Boxcar Willie, and then the Arkansas Traveler. It looks like it's got the most seeds in it. Now I'm going to cut a piece off of each one of them. We'll taste them. And these have been all pretty good as far as good growing plants in the garden. They've done pretty well. This is the middle of August, and they're still hanging in there, all of them, and still producing tomatoes, so you can't beat that. I'm going to start down on this end. It's a decent tasting tomato. That's the Ava Purple Ball. It's not my favorite by far. That one's the Boxcar Willie. It's just a little bit sweeter. And the Arkansas Traveler, and that's kind of the order I would put them in as far as taste, and that's what I had already decided tasting them separately. The Arkansas Traveler tastes best to me, the Boxcar Willie tastes next best, and the Ava Purple Ball comes up third. It just doesn't have the sweetness as the other two. As far as overall tomatoes, the Ava Purple Ball has real good disease resistance, so that's a huge plus in my garden. And the Boxcar Willie, it's been dependable the last couple of years. I just like it. It's a good overall tomato. And the Arkansas Traveler, with it tasting as good as it does. At first I kind of was iffy on it, but the longer I have it in my garden, the better I like it, even though it is a little bit seedy. They all have their pluses and their pros and their cons, like any tomato. But I would call these three pretty good choices for anybody's garden, in my opinion. They're just good overall tomatoes that have some staying power and seem to produce throughout the summer, unlike some of the larger tomatoes that will produce well early, and then once it gets really hot will stop setting on. These seem to keep setting on. Here we are in the middle of August and we've still got small tomatoes on all 3 plants. So they're just good tomatoes. If I had a really large garden, I think these all 3 would be some that I would grow every year. Well, I just had Tanya taste the 3, and she preferred the boxcar Willie over the other 2. So it just goes to show you everybody has different taste. But they're all 3 good tomatoes. Like I said, pros and cons.